Alright, this is Sunday morning. This is the last prospecting session of the trip. You know, I doubt I'll find anything, but, you know, fingers crossed. Let's give it a shot. Alright, quick status report. We're at the site, searching around. Looks like they found something over there. Meanwhile, I found 3 fragments. 3 measly fragments. Alright. I just found more fragments, more fragments, more fragments. God, Dove Spring must really hate me. Matt, or I think that was his name, but you know, some guy found a horse tooth. And up there, Marlena has found something, which has everyone's attention.
Oh, nice.
Finally, I have historical luck. Got a bunch of... God, look at that. There's bone there. There's this big hunk here. There's more there. Made the score finally shift to Doug 1, Dove Spring 6. Alright, our buddy Cam here is going to investigate. Get back to you in a moment. Alright. Master Cam here has been following the bone. Seems to be going a fair distance.
Hey Jess.
The thrill of discovery.
You want some poop?
Poop, yes. I love poop.
I love
So I take it you'll be producing Everybody Poops the Movie. Well, here we go. I should have brought my really big paintbrush.
You want a bigger paintbrush? Daycare found something big. I'm gonna guess herbivore.
Could it be like rhino or uber camel?
Well,
It's a pretty safe guess.
well, no, because okay, Laura knows working in the pit, almost everything's carnivore.
Because there's
So
something
you can
down
tell
there.
that, and you're like,
Oh, yeah.
herbivore.
Because I think the only thing that could be anywhere near this big would be Iscaricyon. But even then, that would have to be like the size of Arctodos to, you know, equal something like this. Big ol' thinking, based on the facet there, I'm wondering if this may be like an ulna or a tibia, maybe.
Looks like looks like a distal tibia.
Oh.
Because don't forget there's something under there too. Bag if you can get right there. And there he is, putting consolidant on it to stabilize the fossil so that it'll actually survive the trip back to the museum.
Is that the glue?
Yeah.
It's reversible. That's why you use it. It's acetone and acrylates into these little pellets, little plastic pellets.
And basically the acetone dissolves the glue, and that
different concentrations.
yeah, that allows it to seep into the cracks and really strengthen it.
But if you make it kind of thick, you can glue bones back together.
Looks like a tibia, shin bone, from some big guy.
Oh, nice.
Whoa!
Hey, Gary.
What is it? It's a tibia.
That's Gary's radio.
It's tibia.
My guess would be it's either a rhino, a gomphotherium, or an uber camel.
Wow.
A what? A rhino? A what?
A gomphotherium, that's the 4-tusked mastodon.
Oh, wow.
And then maybe uber camel.
I'm gonna say camel.
Exactly.
Yep, another update. Cam says he's gonna have to jacket this guy.
Do you mind if I take a picture, or do
No,
I need
go
your
for
written
it.
consent?
No, go ahead. I mean, I'm taking pictures that I'm gonna be plastering Flickr with.
That's great. Because it's kind of cool the way the sun is.
Oh, wow.
If you want to take a
And
picture
and-
over here, the sun is
And I was about
pretty
to say, well,
Together,
technically it's the
Yeah.
museum's property, so you have to ask them. You know, after all, it's their
Yeah.
permit.
Sell pictures, but
Well, I'm not going to sell them. I'm actually just trying to record. Now,
Darn it.
Charlie,
Let me
you're
tell
making
Gary.
me nervous.
Yeah.
Metapolio?
All right.
Maybe. I don't think so.
Master Gary here
Vanessa,
thinks
do you have
it's
your
something
camera?
else.
I don't.
No, that's an ulna.
Ulna.
That's Proxolna.
Proximal ulna.
Oh, the thing is missing right here.
That's
Yeah. You have a
camera? That's
Ah.
what that is.
That would be the
one of
elbow,
our
right?
cameras.
Yeah?
See, it's a Lycaron.
Wow, so it was right
Awesome.
Do you think there might be some like right around here?
We probably take that separate.
Yeah.
Do you think there's some right around
Hey,
here?
Doug, can
Let's pick it. Sorry.
Okay.
Uba camel.
What would you name?
In Soviet Russia, you don't ride camels.
I
Camels
like that. We'll call
ride
it the
you.
Uber camel.
Oh, okay, if you're gonna pronounce it as bad, really call it like
I know that's going to irritate you.
Camille.
Uba camel. Camille. Uba camel.
How do you say
Uba
camel in German?
camel.
Camille.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
Uba camel.
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 Uba camel. That's a big bone.
Yeah, good job finding that.
Yeah. Hence calling it Uba camel.
It's a glue. It's a resin that's activated.
The distal end right there. At first it looked like a big shard, and then I pulled it out, and it's like the whole end of the bone, and it's like hubba hubba hubba
Pulled it
hubba.
out.
Getting a little dry.
It's like as my luck finally changed, and it looks like it did.
Once it dries, we just throw it in the bag.
So like a thing.
Is that a vulture?
Oh shit!
Oh, it's a
That's
blade.
like a
Pterodactyl.
God, that's
is that like a hawk or an owl?
It's a dinosaur. Can I
Wow, it's even got the still got quills.
This part was sticking up.
you can see the esophagus too. Trachea, whatever. That's the esophagus.
It's chupacabra.
You should take it back to the visitor center.
Okay.
Ranger Mark wouldn't get mad, right?
Give it to Ranger Matt.
Or Matt.
Ranger
Ranger
Matt
Matt.
says.
Ranger Mark won't care.
Careful with it. Ranger Mark's retired. He doesn't care much about anything.
He does care.
Isn't that awesome, Mom? Here.
So that probably means there's another bone, more bones of it somewhere.
Well, you never know. Come on, I need to
You never
pour
know,
some
but it
bones.
is kind of unlikely given the
I need to
depositional
pour-
environment back then. You know,
Unlikely what?
Here.
that there are more bones nearby because, oops, sorry, because a lot of these were deposited in streams, and that means because the stream flowing basically scattered all the bones. I mean, it's possible that other bones of this animal are in the formation, but we'll never know for sure. We find a bone in the same area, we can't say for certain if it came from the same individual.
Look at this really pretty stone.
You want?
Beautiful.
Yeah?
Up there.
Maybe found a vertebra.
Wow, cool.
Was there a brush here?
Where'd you find the vertebra?
There's a real vertebra.
100%. That's the last one we have.
Bring it over!
Oh, so it's a vertebra from a recently dead animal?
No, it's a camel, I think is what.
Camel.
Doing what's called pedestaling the fossil. Basically kind of getting it up. Basically isolating it from the rest of the hillside, essentially.
So loose.
Alright, here we are. You can see they got the pedestal nice and complete now. People cheering about other stuff they found.
I did. It is. Gary, you saw that, right? What? The backbone David found?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you make all the notes you're going to make about it? No. Oh.
I don't think, well, if there's parts on it, I don't think we're going to take it.
Oh.
Too fragrant.
Oh, that's alright. He's still excited, right?
Yeah. Somebody else come see it.
My brother found a backbone.
Gary King's bag.
Carrying my bag.
Probably camel. They said they're the most common out here.
Well, it's not my fault. Left it where he shouldn't have.
brother wants someone to document it.
She didn't do it.
I'll go over to my mom. But my brother wants it documented as well.
You want his hands cast in the Hollywood Walk of Fame?
We need a paleontology Hall of Fame.
That would be cool.
That's a pretty deep trench.
Needs to be pretty deep so they can undercut it.
Oh, you're on your backside over there, Gary.
Yeah.
More?
Hey, Gary!
Yo! What?
Okay.
Oh, okay. What'd you say?
It's alright. You said keep digging.
Oh. Don't let's bother you.
Oh.
Put to sleep.
I don't know, you probably could have just said Bug Jiaming.
I did.
Ah.
I mean, it should be right.
Where's Xiaoming?
He's down. Oh, last I saw him, he was down over here.
That him over there?
Going to bed.
Where's Dr. Dog?
Dr.
Is he all
Dog.
the way over
Dr.
there?
Dog.
Dr. Dog.
He's faster than he would. Yeah. Alright, so I guess
Or maybe a ranger-
he isn't gonna go by there.
Or maybe Ranger Matt's been giving him Desert Ninja lessons.
Maybe. Desert teleportation.
Come from Doug.
What's going on?
Stretching
You know, just digging a bone
Oh,
out
just
of the ground.
finding a, you know, making a jacket.
Paleontology.
Doing pale.
Gary, is this something you care about?
Something I care about?
Like,
So
do I
it's-
have
Like
to,
dearly? Like I would.
like you wanna?
It's a piece of scapula.
Okay, so you don't wanna.
Like,
You don't want to
You
document
can see
this?
the matrix is
Okay.
giving them quite a headache
Mom,
because
still
it's so
bring it in.
crumbly.
It should go
You know,
in the
they're
catalog.
trying to dig a nice pedestal
Is
for
it
the
catalog?
bone, and it just keeps falling apart.
Is this a catalog?
no, we don't have enough of it. We need a little bit more, by the way. But
Okay.
it's all right.
Yeah.
All right. Keep on going. Did you see my scapula, David?
What? Yes, Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got my vertebra I'm working.
Be burying yourself there?
my all.
What? Say it again?
Here they are now, putting toilet paper on the fossil to separate, so that the plaster jacket doesn't stick to the bone. Well, it's not actually toilet paper; it is fossil wrapping paper.
How many complete, like, individual bones?
Anyway, that's an important step of the jacketing process because, like I said, you don't want the plaster to stick to the bone. That could really damage it. And so, wet fossil wrapping paper keeps it nice and safe from the plaster. So yeah, we'll get back to you when they actually start the plaster.
Yeah, the other option.
Bandage and plaster in the same.
Yeah.
There we go, getting ready to jacket the fossil
About 10. These are what, 10 minutes? Yeah.
with plaster bandages. Basically works the same way as when you break your arm, you put a cast on it to protect it. This keeps the fossil, this protects the fossil, make sure it doesn't break when they take it back to the museum. Back to you in a moment.
These fossils, they end up at the little center of the museum.
There's a little more
At the museum.
progression of the jacket,
Go back to the museum and get completely,
prepped and cataloged.
preserved, conserved.
Only more than four.
Yep.
Alright, another quick update. They got the... It's really starting to look like a field jacket.
out will be kind of the same layer.
Yep. Alright, see you in a bit.
Cut out in space.
There we go.
Hey, Mom!
Looking like, the jackets you see in all the books and documentaries.
Come over here so I can have some
Once they finish getting it all nice and layered up, they'll undercut it so they can flip the jacket and put the plaster on the other side.
now.
See, I'm so thirsty.
More in a moment.
Little!
The undercutting has begun.
I think you guys are disturbing a geological feature in the state park. With the knees. So it's
Okay, here we go. Getting ready to flip. There we go. And that's how you flip a jacket.
Are there still people out here?
Sorry it kind of petered out there. I meant to do a follow-up in the car on the way home, but I was low on space and power. I know, I need a spare memory card and a spare battery for my video camera. It's on my wish list. But anyway, so yeah, it petered out. Basically, one of the cardinal rules of volunteer paleontology is that if you find it, you get to carry it out. You know, it was really cool finding that, you know, giant camel bone. You know, but as we were walking back, I joked with them, as cool as this is, why couldn't I find just some rhino tooth, you know, to carry home? But, you know, it's almost, you know, it's over a week after I found it, and I'm still coasting on that high. You know, so stoked that I found this giant camel bone. Because, yeah, it's kind of broken up, but, I mean, the whole bone is there, and you can see it's like this long. And, you know, so many of the other fossils that people were finding on this trip and last year were kind of these smaller fragments that you could, you know, just wrap in toilet paper and throw in your backpack and carry out. But this one, they actually had to excavate and jack it and then carry it out. You know, and damn, that thing was heavy. It must have weighed at least 50 pounds. But, like I said, I'm so totally stoked about it. And all that stuff, you know, I was saying earlier, you know, just completely disregarded. That was all before I found the camel bone. You know, it was basically, I have depression, and, you know, my therapist says, be careful about what you put in your videos, but you know what, I'm putting it out there. I am who I am, you know. Someone has to be. You know, as I've been grappling with depression for a long time right now, and it's made all the worse by Asperger's syndrome and, you know, I've had a couple guys tell me borderline personality disorder as well. You know, and that's what was really factoring into it, and finding that camel bone was just such a boost for me. You know, because, you know, I was feeling so useless to the paleontological community. I mean, I don't find fossils, I don't publish papers, I don't give lectures, I don't volunteer at a museum. You know, I don't write about it, at least I don't think very well. You know, go check out my little cyber rag. And, like I said, I was just feeling so useless and irrelevant to the paleontological community. And to find that camel bone, you know, I really needed that. I really needed that. And so, like I said, I've just been coasting on that high ever since of finding that, because it's so cool. And with any luck, you know, they'll get it prepped soon, and then, I don't know, if we go down to my sister's for New Year's, she lives in Pasadena, I can bug Xiao Ming and ask, it's like, I want to visit my fossil. So apparently that's what people get to do if they find stuff on these trips. And let's see what else. Bear with me here. I know I suck, but I'm doing my best here. It was a really good trip. I mean, this year especially. Not just because I found the camel, but a lot of people seem to remember me after just 1 year either. And that's either, you know, if someone remembers you like that, it's either a very good thing or a very bad thing. You know, won't sit here and debate which one it was. You know, the simple fact is it's there. And, you know, these trips, you know, they can vary a little bit every year, but apparently there's a whole bunch of people who have just been doing this year after year after year, God knows how long, and they seem to have formed this very close-knit social group. Everyone seems to know everyone except me. Well, like I said, they kind of knew me, but that can be either very good or very bad. And, you know, is naturally with my Asperger's syndrome, it's kind of hard for me to fit in. You know, I thanked the people like Zhao Ming and this group of like high schoolers and you know, this girl named Bridget, you know, for putting up with me that weekend, because I know it's not easy. Because I have depression, I have Asperger's syndrome, and you know, I have Asperger's syndrome and borderline personality disorder feeding into that depression. That can really make me unbearable, I'm sure. But still, you know, if you have never been on this sort of trip and want to, you know, go check out the museum's website. I think they've been doing this in the fall pretty regularly. As Zhao Ming said, the, you know, rain doesn't usually cooperate, and that means they can't really do it in spring, something like that. And, you know, it's a fantastic trip. It's a fantastic trip. You know, I mean, sure, it's a little pricey at $250, but, you know, you get to go camp out in the desert for the weekend, and the last 2 years I've been there, it's actually been fairly pleasant. Not too hot. I think the hottest I've seen it was, you know, the Sunday of this trip. It was somewhere in the 90s, but, you know, I've endured much worse than that, so obviously I didn't think too much of it. But, like, you get to go camp out in the desert. You know, Dr. Dave, you know, has been out there since the 50s, I guess, so he knows a lot about the local flora and fauna, and he's always fun to talk to just from a biology perspective, not just paleontology. And, you know, the staff and volunteers, you know, are just so, they're just so friendly, you know, at least when you don't get on their nerves. But I mean, you know, they're very friendly and at least do their best to make you feel welcome. But again, me with my, you know, cocktail of mental disorders, it's not always easy for me too. But that hair, I give them credit for trying. Because, I mean, it's not easy with a group of, I think there were like 55 people on the trip this year. I think that was including staff and whatnot. You know, I certainly hope to be able to do it next year. Don't know if I'll be able to. Because I very well might be off in either Nebraska or Oregon going to college. And I don't know, if I do end up going to University of Oregon, maybe Dr. Dave can give me a ride down. You know, as apparently that's where he's coming from on this thing. I certainly love to go back. I mean, you know, I certainly thought, you know, after, you know, last year and this year finding completely nothing and then finding that camel bone, you know, kind of going out on a bang, you know, it seems like, you know, would I ever be able to top that camel bone on this kind of trip? You never know. That's the thing with paleontology, is you never know what you're going to get. So if I could get the logistics figured out, I mean, I'd certainly love to go back. If anything, just, you know, to go look for fossils in that little, neat little corner of Kern County out in the Mojave Desert. You know, so, you know, once again, everyone on that trip, you know, participants, volunteers, staff, thank you very much for putting up with me. Especially Aisling Farrell for my comment that your name kind of sounded like some sort of furnace demon. That's my twisted, demented imagination at work. You know, stuff like that just sort of comes to me at times. I just don't know what to do with it. And I guess keep it bottled up. You know, Asperger's syndrome, I'm working on it. But as with, you know, any time you're trying to change someone's psyche, someone's mental process, it is never easy. It's going to be a long, drawn-out process. Just like excavating fossils can be. And I will get a more, I'm going to have, right there, there we go, a link to a much more, you know, a video detailing the process of excavating that camel bone in greater detail. You know, my photo detail was, I think, maybe a bit better than the video. Again, I gotta save space. You know, 8 gigabytes isn't very much when you're using an HD camera. So yeah, again, just, can we get that again? There we go. Just go there to see my camel bone excavation on its own. You don't have to sit through all the other stuff in this video. And, you know, you may have been noticing the background. You know, I've even referenced it quite a bit. You know, Aaron so graciously gave me his green screen on indefinite loan. So I'm trying that out. And tell me what you think. So yeah, Red Rock Canyon, 2011. A lot of fun. I hope I can do it next year. You know, if I can, awesome. If I won't, you know, I'll try and cope. I don't think I'll be missed too much. You know, I've been at this as long as many other people on this thing, and mental illnesses don't mean I'm very much integrated. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that video. And I really hope to try and get my videos from Utah up. Also this video on the Fossil Discovery Center of Madera County. Hope to get that up soon, but I'll probably get distracted with the Randolph Museum, which I'll see their new Hall of Life, which just opened today, but I won't be able to see it until Saturday, or maybe even Friday. Depends when Andy emails me back. So I'll see you next time.